Essentialism by Mckeown. Focus on only the most important things and ignore the rest. That's the central message of this bestseller by Mckeown. I think there's a reason that this book sold so well. The world that we live in today is constantly begging us to say yes to all sorts of things. This book points out that we have a limited amount of time and energy, so us saying yes to one thing is, by definition, we're saying no to something else, because there's the something else that we could have been doing. So we can't ignore that there are always trade-offs whenever we agree to do something. That's why we have to make intentional choices about what we really want, because if we don't, then we're just going to be saying yes to a lot of things that aren't going to add up to what we really want. So in the book, the author goes through a lot of techniques for how to say no. There's the 90% rule. If you aren't more than 90% sold on something, so if it's not a definite yes, then it's a definite no. There's rules about giving yourself boundaries, setting a buffer, and so on. I thought one of the most memorable points that he made in the beginning was, when you're older, you're never going to regret time that you spent when you were younger thinking about what you really wanted to do with your life. Then this book also reminded me that it's important to be specific about what that really means. What do you want in specific terms? Because the more specific you can be, the more likely you are to succeed. And the point of essentialism is, once you figure out what you want and what the specifics are, then drop everything else and go full on to get that thing, because that you've decided is the most important thing. I think the reason that this is hard is because there are a lot of good things that are hard to say no to. But in order to get to the great things, you have to be willing to say no to the good things, which is an excellent point that he spells out really well in this book. He has some chapters that I think get off the main point of the book, which is you pick the essential thing in your life and follow that. He has a chapter on sleep, on mindfulness, on setting aside time for play, where he's really saying these are the essential things as opposed to go out and find the essential things, which are all well and good messages, but a bit off the scope, I think, and probably better placed in a different book. On the other hand, if he didn't have those chapters, this book would be really short, and I don't think you can really sell a book that's under 40,000 words. Still, it's a worthwhile read, a lot of great points, very timely. I'm going to give it 4.5 stars.